My name is Cindy Liu, and I am an avid user of the exclamation mark. Punctuation. I know what you're all thinking. Finally, a topic we care about. Finally, an inspiring and impactful speech that tackles conflicting commas, problematic periods, and extraneous apostrophes. Well, no. Actually, I'll be addressing a topic that's a bit abstract, a little random, and something that will hopefully create a ripple in your understanding. The superiority complex between different forms of punctuation and how your character is reflected by your use of punctuation, notably the question mark and the exclamation mark. Ladies and gentlemen, which is better? Well, this topic first came to mind when I flipped through my childhood diary. If any of you have ever talked to me, you can probably attest to the level of exclamation that I use. And if you've ever questioned this, I've always just waved it off as something that I've always done, part of my character. However, just a few weeks ago, I discovered that this wasn't always the case. While I was flipping through this diary from little me, when I was about 10 years old, I discovered that pages on end were plagued by questions, each followed by an unnecessary amount of question marks. So I began to wonder, what prompted this change? And what does it say about the change in my character? The exclamation, the question mark. The question mark can do anything, can't it? Anyways, isn't the only difference between the question mark and the exclamation mark a slight bend? Isn't it? Of course not! Exclamation mark. In fact, the question mark can actually do quite a lot of things. So as humans, aren't we at the core introspective and curious? Asking questions, really, is at the heart of all Canadians. It can be used to say hello. How's it going, eh? It can be passive-aggressive. Did you really just say that? And we all know that it can be pushy and infuriating when the waitress asks for the second time, how are those first bites tasting? The question mark is humble but powerful. Why? Why would you question the question mark? Let me tell you why. Because not only does this droop-shouldered question mark embody self-doubt and indecisiveness, but when it is used excessively, it can be boring and annoying even. So, to all you question marks, I say, stretch your arms as an exclamation. Be free. Be you. The exclamation mark was originally noted as the note of admiration. As we all know, it's used to express excitement and to add additional emphasis. But in fact, this exclamation mark, the same note that is used to represent strength and force, is used so many times excessively. Since when did it become the norm to use 3 or 4 of them? Since when was this the norm? Is it actually because they're quite weak? To prove my point, I opened the first Facebook post in my feed. Here were the comments. Congrats, Smith! Exclamation mark, which he responded with, thanks! 3 exclamation marks. The next comment read, I'm always so proud of you! 4 exclamation marks. But the third commenter was the one who went above and beyond, following her comment with 22. Yes, 22. Yes, I counted all 22 of these exclamation marks. Exhausted and slightly concerned, I knew that I had proven my point. Now, this might be stretching it, but consider it. Do we allow our use of punctuation to punctuate our lives? Whether constantly asking questions, seemingly suspended in a state of doubt, or perhaps you're constantly and always using exclamation marks, screaming at people through your messages, or perhaps you live a life devoid of all punctuation. What are you? Indecisive? Overly passionate and aggressive? Or indifferent and nonchalant? How does your use of punctuation reflect these attitudes? Think about the last person you texted. How did they end their sentence? And if you know them quite well, how do they usually end their sentence? Consider whether there is a relationship between their use of punctuation and their character. And perhaps at the end of this event, you can let me know if the patterns that I observe exist for you as well. But before I leave, I want to end with one final question. Which symbol leaves its mark with you? Thank you.